Hello, it's Kristen and Tanner from One World Wellness. We are joined today with my mom, Cori Ellingson, and our dear, dear friend, Joanna Casey, to talk a little bit about the Gene Keys retreat that they are going to co-facilitate coming up in almost 6 short weeks, January 14th to the 21st in Porto Escondido at beautiful Los Milagritos guest house.
Joanna, would you like to say hello first?
Hello. I'm also in Mexico at the moment, enjoying the heat. And I can't wait to get to Puerto and start telling people in person about how great this week is going to be.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Well, I know for us, the Gene Keys has been a really awesome tool just to learn more about ourselves, just to have a deeper sense of awareness about our own patterns, and we've really loved sharing it with people, and we're excited for you both to be there and to be able to do that a little more in depth with some direction. So,
Cori, would you like to share a brief description of your journey with the Gene Keys so far?
Sure, I'd love to. Hi, everybody. The Gene Keys is very transformational, and it can be a bit scary too because of the size of the book, but it doesn't have to be. And that's the beautiful part. Just by reading one of your unique spheres, and we all have a profile that consists of 11 different numbers, and they can be combinations too. You can have the same number more than once. But these different spheres, we're going to be focusing at the retreat on the first 4 on the outside to get everyone's feet on the golden path. And when I began, I was very skeptical because I thought, oh boy, one more thing that, I'm supposed to be doing, and, one more workshop or whatever, one more book. And I couldn't believe how just reading the very first key, which is your life's purpose, I could feel it tingling and working inside of me. And I would have to stop and just take a breath and think about it and take it in, because it was so profound in shifting my awareness as to actually why I'm here. And I mean, I'm 66. It's incredible to discover the brilliance in why I'm here and how to step more fully into that. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true.
That's exciting. And so you're saying it's never too late to inquire more deeply about who we are and why we're each here.
Well, my enthusiasm with it has caused me to begin sharing it with some family members, really good friends, and that has shown me that just the simple taking on of just learning a little bit about your own profile starts to unlock the brilliance and the genius is just waiting inside us. And we all know that there's more we have. We know that deep inside. There's more that I have to share. But if you don't know how to get it out of you, it's pretty difficult.
That's right.
Absolutely.
The Gene Keys seems to be a good supporting tool for us to dig deeper and sort of unlock those layers of ourselves that maybe we don't even know are there. But I know for us, once we started studying the Gene Keys for ourselves, we've been able to really tune into all aspects of who we are and what we're here for. And in that way, I wanted to ask Joanna if you could tell us a little bit about the book and the author, and what it is about the Gene Keys that's called to you so strongly.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have studied a lot of different philosophies in my life. A lot. All kinds of esoteric things. And when I started reading this book, mine's a slightly different edition, something really magical happened, because it's like a synthesis, a coming together of all these different thoughts and mysteries about why we're here and, you know, how we can be the best version of ourselves. When I picked up this book, something incredible happened. And really, I didn't have the book physically until I was with Cori. So we kind of started exploring it together. And what's even more incredible is that we have the identical activation sequence, the first 4 spheres, exactly the same numbers in the same places. So we spent a lot of the month of February just reading the book aloud, which really, just by reading it aloud and integrating it, causes some kind of shift. I mean, we both really felt the difference. And also I had the privilege to meet Richard himself just a couple of weeks ago on the 11th of the 11th, the 11th of November. And he's just as articulate and amazing in person as he is in the book. Yeah, it was a really fantastic day I spent with him.
Awesome.
Yeah, shall I just read now what Richard says about your higher purpose?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Okay, so this is from the introduction to the book. You are a living genius. Every human being is born a genius. I'm not just saying you have the capacity to be a genius, but that you are one right now. Your higher purpose in life is to share your particular genius with the world. But what is genius? The original root of the word refers to a kind of overseeing spirit or guardian who looks after a person. It also has a clear connection with the word gene, which is one of the reasons it has come to be associated with certain special people with a genetic hereditary gift of intelligence or intellect. Today, when we think of genius, we generally think of it as intellectual prowess, as, for example, in the case of Einstein. I would like you to understand genius in a new way. To begin with, you don't have to be intellectual to be a genius. Genius describes you living at your zenith. It is you living your life without holding anything back, owning and therefore transcending your fears. To be a genius is to have the courage to live life with an open heart as a deep romance. As you journey through the gene keys, you will be traveling through all the great human lives. And although their names may not be mentioned directly, you will recognize what it takes to live a great life. A great life does not necessarily mean a famous life. Out of all the people you know, think of a person you truly admire, not for their deeds, but for their character, their patience, their tireless optimism, their courage. Genius can thrive in the most mundane of environments. And this is the best bit. Your genius simply makes you a truly joyous human being. That is your higher purpose, to be radiant for no other reason than being alive. Your genius can only emerge out of that inner radiance. If it doesn't make you truly joyous, then it isn't your genius. Your genius is the soil, and your higher purpose grows out of that soil. Whether it turns out to be a humble herb, a delectable fruit, or a great oak tree, the gene keys are a gardening manual that will guide you through the growing process. But the seed is already there inside you, waiting inside your DNA. So yeah, it's about unlocking what's already inside us. That for me is the core of what it's all about.
Awesome. Thank you for reading that. I think that gives everyone a good idea, if they aren't familiar with the book already, kind of the vibe of the way that Richard writes that book. It's very beautiful. And Cori, would you mind wrapping up this little chat by telling us why it might be beneficial for people who either are already familiar with the Gene Keys but haven't really dove into them as much as they would like to, or even someone who's just hearing about them maybe on this video for the first time, but they're really excited. What might they gain from coming to this 1 week immersion with all of us?
Well, I believe that when I'm inspired about something, I love to share it. So I've been sharing this with so many people, and I've seen the actual transformation when a person reads their own numbers, their own keys. They immediately feel it. And it's been so heartwarming and inspiring for me to recognize that. So this week is going to be a chance for a person to give themselves a gift, to open their own genius, their own brilliance. In this busy world, a lot of us just say, well, you know, I'm going to do this, but I'll do it next week. And next week never comes. So this is a chance to come here and get your feet on the golden path, which is the first step in the Gene Keys. We'll be watching webinars of Richard and his brilliance. We'll be doing simple buddying exercises, just reading your own information and contemplating it. And it happens all by itself. And it really, there's no rush to it. It's a lifelong process. But to be fully supported and nurtured in an environment where you don't have to think about anything else. There will be meditation and yoga and wonderful meals and a wonderful warm environment to give yourself this gift of a week, because you deserve it. And your brilliance is needed in the world. Everyone's genius and brilliance is needed right now, especially.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amen.
And you know, that this phrase has come up a few times this week. Once in a conversation with some friends. We're at a hostel right now, and we had a really lengthy, beautiful conversation when we arrived here. And the phrase came up, and then at a cacao ceremony the other night, a similar topic arose, and that was that we all have, that we're all seeds of light. And so what's coming to me is that this retreat is an opportunity for people to start to sprout their seed of light and to sort of allow the branches to start coming out and really stepping into the full potential that each of us has. So thank you both for joining us. We are pretty much out of time for the length we wanted to keep this to. So thank you both. Any last comments from anyone?
Well, you can find more information about the retreat. It's on Facebook, Gene Keys, Awakening Your Brilliance.
That's the name of the retreat on
That's
Facebook.
the name of the retreat. You can also find more information on our website, which is oneworldwellness.info, and just click the 2018 retreats, Mexico retreats link, and you can find all the information regarding the retreat. So we're really excited to have you both joining us down there. It's going to be a beautiful week, and we're really excited to see who shows up to bring their brilliance to the world.
Thank you both.
Thank you. Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.